I ain't think I was gonna get it. Hey everybody, hey everybody, hey everybody. Just scratch it. We are, hold on, am I live in the right places? Let me see. Okay, that is up. Everything is looking the way. For some reason, ever since I had the little lawn situation, it'd be hard to get that out a little bit. It'd be hard. Sometimes I feel like I'm like stuck a little bit. Happy July 14th, not 4th, but 14th. I hope you enjoyed your break. Hope you enjoyed your break. I hope everything has been well. As you know, we did not live stream last week. As you know, we did not live stream last week due to, military, traveling, off-camera things. Typical walking apart, right? So we got some stories, as always, about higher education, plenty of topics for you and what you should know in regards to going to college and what you should be doing to make sure you're prepared. Fall is coming up, fall semester, August is coming up. Summer went by like some water in a plastic cup. Nobody wants to hear anything about college, but we have to talk about it because these things are still going on at the current moment, right? So, me, I'm gonna go through some of the, let me set that up for you all. I be missing y'all, man. I be missing y'all. I really do. I be really missing y'all on this live screen. It be feeling weird, excuse me. It be feeling weird. And so, where is, let me see. I got the game on in the background. Somebody from my alma mater in high school is in the NBA. I think it's pretty good being that person saying that now. Used to always be talking about other people. Now I can say that. So let's do the disclaimer. Thank you, computer. Just want to know you to get set up. Do this. Disclaimer: the videos presented here are for informational purposes only. So remember, therefore, if you are to choose an institution, university, two-year college, you are responsible for doing your own research. I'm not a financial aid specialist, academic advisor, or representing any institution during this live stream. Although I have academic advising experience and plenty of higher ed experience, it's always important to follow up with that institution. Speaking on behalf of Creator, Henry is only speaking from his experience because it's really important for you to get that information, right? Let's close that. And then let's get down to the fun stuff. Come on. Come on. All right. So, as you know, this is Shio. This is where we get our updates. This is where we get our stories. This is where we get all our good information for you. So on Shio in the news, I think that's new because I've never seen that before. I think that's new by them. Shio in the news, the emerging cost of higher education. That's actually one of the stories we're going to talk about. National Policy Report, the new federal loan limits and 7 facts about medical student loan borrowers. That's by UCLA Latino Politics. Nearly 1 million people have left the Save Student Loan Program. Here is where they went. Another federal agency wants in on student loans. I didn't know another federal agency can get in on student loans. As college graduates fret over finding jobs, a record shortage of workers is projected. How are we panicking about jobs, but we have a record a record shortage coming in. I was gonna say a record of jobs coming in, but a shortage is projected. Universities warn against rule on political control of grants. Actually, by AEI, American Institute Enterprise. I said American Enterprise Institute. I said that backwards. Actually, many college students do pay the sticker price. Oh, that sounds like a good one right there. I didn't see that one. Let me go ahead and just open that up. Did not see that one. Democrats' confidence in higher ed hits record low. The Trump administration gives predatory beauty schools a year's long pass on accountability. And it's crazy because we were just talking about medical schools doing it, not medical schools, beauty schools charging a lot of students a lot of money to go there. We were just talking about this. So excuse me. So the Trump administration is giving them a pass. We'll probably dig into that because we didn't live stream for a week. So we have a few things to discuss. Like I said, it's plenty of higher education topics to talk about, and we have to talk about this because this is going to help you or your family member or your family be preventive instead of reactive. That's the word. So state policy wise, as I go back in, state policy, California, UC withdraws current plan to revisit SAT, ACT requirements. Next steps remain unclear. That is really important. That shows you right there that schools don't want to bring back the SAT, ACT, because it wouldn't be a good time to do it because students are already students are already not going to college or universities at that. So if you got college students not going to universities, not going to college really, or 2-year colleges or whatever the case, right? Why would I add another barrier for them to go to college? It doesn't make sense, right? Especially when you can go to 2-year. 2-year don't even care if you have an SAT, ACT. Like, you could just take a placement test. So Ohio lawmakers aim to bring evidence-based innovation to higher ed. Pennsylvania Governor Shapiro signs bipartisan 2026-2027 budget, securing major priorities from his budget proposal, including historic investments in education. Man, what a good time to be in Pennsylvania. That's my career field. More funding for VOTEC, more state troopers, and child care support for families. That sounds like a lot of good things. Pennsylvania again, press release. 18 budget wins secured by Governor Shapiro, including historic investment in education, more funding to I guess they didn't know they put the same one in here. And then Pennsylvania again, budget gives performance-based boost to Pitt. Oh, okay, performance-based. That's good. And then Penn State. And then WA. Don't laugh at me, but I think that's Washington. I'm not even gonna say the state because I'm not sure which state that is. But WA press release. Governor Ferguson announces new legislative proposal requiring FAFSA or WASFA or opt out to graduate high school. Don't know what that was. I just read, but it was a FAFSA or WASFA or opt out to graduate. All those in one. Shebang. All right, so let's get down to I think the first topic we should talk about, I like to go in order, so I'm definitely gonna talk about this. Many students do pay the sticker price. Is that by my person? Yep, Preston Cooper, as always. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. Where is it? So all right, quick, y'all. So let's talk about the elephant in the room. Confidence in the United States higher education slips back slightly. Why is this important? Simply because it let us know where politics stand. And you know me, I'm not the political type anyway, guys. But some people, there's this theory, right? However you want to phrase it, that Republicans don't want you to go to college. That's the biggest thing. Republicans blame Democrats for the liberalness that's going on, and Democrats are kind of like not believing in college. That's the theme of this. And then it's like the independents kind of just like, literally that's how it goes. Because we're independent when we talk about politics, higher ed politics, So let me zoom in. And this is on Gallup, right? Yeah, this is Gallup. Yeah, Gallup. I hope I'll be saying that right. I'll be like Gallup. So this is by Jeffrey Jones. So reading that top paragraph right quick, and I'm gonna put the context on it real quick. So basically, with context, they're saying that Democrats sour. So jump into it. Well, I'll show you what I'm looking at on my side. Is that the one I'm looking at? I'm looking at this one. So as you can see, excuse me, as you can see, they're saying that Democrats went from, I think the high is a 61% to 50%. That's all. That's an 11% decrease in Democrats feeling confident about you going to college or I going back to college if I want to go to college, right? And so the big gist of it is, so Democrats have suddenly lost confidence in higher ed, according to Gallup and Lamina Foundation. I hope I be saying that right, Lamina Foundation polling released today. Democrats' faith plunged 11 points since last year, leaving just half confident in colleges, as shown in the chart above. And so pretty much what I'm looking at right here. When we had, can y'all still see if I do that? So I'm gonna keep it like this for y'all to view. So with Democrats, I'm gonna start with Democrats right now. So with Democrats losing confidence in higher ed, what does that leave you? What does that mean for you? Honestly, it doesn't mean much for you, but in the overall perspective, what does it mean, I guess, for everybody? Because it's really an everybody thing. Because Republicans normally, as I said before, Republicans normally say the reason why the protests going on or why students are standing up for this country instead of our country, all this going on, right? All that craziness, right? Republicans are saying, hey, they're too educated, they're too liberal. And I'm not the biggest political person, but this is just what I hear. So if it sounds crazy, just blame the media. And so even Democrats right now, though, most people will say for education, we need to vote Democrat or Republican or independent, whatever the case. But even the Democrats are losing confidence in college. Republicans been lost confidence in college. If you go watch any political Republican podcast, anything, and you go watch them talk about college, it's always like you don't need to go to college. But if you understand a Republican mindset, I guess, or a conservative Republican or whatever, whichever type, Republicans are like really, like, as far as I see, or is the way they're being exemplified, Republicans are, not all, but just saying the majority seem money driven, capitalistic, as they say, or whatever. And the reason I made that statement is because Republicans normally want you to keep working, because if you are educated and you're worth more, if you understand your worth. Like if I go to college, my expectation is to make 45K, 50K, 65, or whatever the number, just not throwing out numbers, is to make that more. Now I'm expected to make that. But if I don't have an education and I'm going in here with this confidence and I deserve this, I don't really have that leverage. So this all plays back into why you should go to college. But don't listen to the politics. Like, who are they to determine that college, I'm losing confidence in college? Because as we keep going, it says, and college graduates are pessimistic. You have every right to be. If you are a college student in today's time, you have every right to be pessimistic. That's why I started speaking on behalf, or my bad, we started speaking on behalf. I said we started speaking on behalf because we understand why you are pessimistic about college. We understand why you feel that We understand why you feel that how can I put it? We understand why you feel like college is worthless. I go to school, I spend $300,000, $250,000 on college just to make $50,000 a year or $70,000 a year, whatever, right? And you're like, I'm literally like a slave to my money. I'm a slave to my degree, essentially. And so that's why I want you all to start at a 2-year and bridge to a 4-year. Will it get noticed? Will it be understood? Maybe one day. But students really have to understand why you should go start at a 2-year and bridge to a 4-year under the articulation agreement / pathway agreement. Because when you do that, you see the real value in college when you do that. And the reason that it's such a big deal is just like, I guess, really, honestly, truly, the best example I can give you about why you should go to college is Barack Obama. That's like the best advice I can give you about like a quick proof, or like me, but you don't know me. You didn't see me before I went to college. I wish I had those recordings, but you didn't see me before I went to college. You see me like while in college and after college. And so Obama is a great example of that, because the more information and the more you know, it's better for your career. It's better for your family. It's better for you as you get older and wiser. You know how to determine what is credible and what is not credible, which is great for what your future and your career. And so, is that something that's going to change your life right away? Not necessarily, but it's going to change your life in the next 1 to 2 years. If you really crack down and understand, like, focus, doing your schoolwork, no social media, and understand that like life is really simple if I just started a 2-year and bridged to a 4-year, get my associate's degree, get my bachelor's and master's and so on, right? It's really simple. So to stay on topic, they say bachelor holders were no more bullish than high school graduates, 36 versus 35. So they're talking about right here for you all to see. So right here. Does it start? So college graduates, 43% of college graduates continue to have more confidence in higher education than those without a 4-year degree, 35% since 2015. The average gap between the college graduates and the non-graduates has been 10 percentage points. However, in the past 3 years, the gap between college graduates and non-graduates has been entirely accounted for by the views of U.S. adults with a postgraduate education. Currently, 49% of postgraduates have confidence in higher education compared to 36% of graduates with a bachelor's degree, and only 35% of non-graduates. So when they say postgraduate, if I'm not mistaken, postgraduate is when somebody like me who went to graduate school. And just to make sure that I'm explaining that right, because everything be having their own different definitions. Postgraduate. Yeah. All right. That's exactly what I was just making sure. But a postgraduate, yeah, like somebody like me, I got my master's degree. Any advanced academic degree or professional certification pursued after completing a bachelor's degree. So that's somebody like me, right? I have a master's degree. You might say, oh, that's why you're like, some people be like, oh, yeah, like a lot of people feel like, do I need to get a master's degree? A lot of people be like, do I need to get a master's? Do I need to get a bachelor's? And it shows you right here why I'm so like optimistic. Like, look, they said it like, I don't think they got it in here. Yeah, they got it. So, like, they said in the past 3 years, it was 49%. Like in the past 3 years, 49% were confident. Postgraduates, 49%. That's almost half of people who get their masters are confident that, like, look, I'm confident in higher education. Why am I so confident? I went to grad school to learn to become a subject matter expert, right, about higher ed and how you can navigate it. Wrote the papers, presented it to my class, presented it to my professors, credible professors who are in higher ed, and brought a wealth of knowledge. Not saying I was the only one, but my peers too. They brought a wealth of knowledge. Why is the wealth of knowledge so important? Because at least from a higher education standpoint, in a college standpoint, I almost failed. Guys, I can't. It's like talking in a code. Like when you really understand how higher ed works, and you understand along with higher ed, everything is a ripple effect. So remember, when you get your associate's degree, I'm gonna keep saying this. It's like my sales pitch. When you get your associate's degree, that's gonna give you a great return on investment, at least in America, right? That's gonna give you a great return on investment. Are we seeing the change now? You probably won't see the change now. But once you get your associate's degree, you'll bridge up and say, I should go get my master's. I should go get my bachelor's. Then you get your bachelor's. Then you might hit a rough patch on getting a job. It's always like that. Honestly, they say back then needs to be better, but it's going to be like that, right? Oh, no. I don't want to go to school because AI. I got to be recession proof. Guys, remember what happened when it was the internet? Or when computers were coming, they say, oh, computers going to take jobs. Internet going to take jobs. Everything takes jobs and adds jobs. But when you go to school, we're not just going to put faith or trust into AI or internet or whatever. We're not prime example, the military still does things on paper. For just to get like an example, anybody with a government job, military, they still do things on paper. So they're not going to give full control to an internet or AI right away. Right? That's why I'm saying, when you go to graduate school or you get a bachelor's, you're more confident that you are going to get a job. You're confident that this education is going to pay off, but you're not going to be confident in your education or confident in that college is going to give you a return on investment if you're paying $300, $250,000, 6 figures to go to college is crazy. If you're going to pay 6 figures, which is going to be our next topic, I'm going to jump to that topic. If you're going to pay 6 figures to go to college, go to Ivy. Try to get into Ivy. Because schools have relationships. This is what I'm trying to give you. If you think, oh, it's rigged, college is rigged. Okay, if college is rigged, why are you going to the expensive schools to not get a good job? Why are you going to a school then that is not known, giving them all your money to make little to nothing? If it's rigged, that's what people say. College is rigged. You don't need to go. It's all about who you know. If it's all about who you know, why are you going to these expensive schools then? Some schools don't have those connections and they're charging you an arm and a leg. So you jump back to here, I see why they're like, hey, you get your master's, you get your doctoral. Yeah, you are destined. It's so many ways I can go with this topic, but you are destined to be confident. Yeah, you are going to be confident. Like I tell you all the time. You in my career field. Oh, I can't wait, man. I can't wait, y'all. I'm so excited. We've been working on some stuff. I can't wait. And so we've been working on some stuff and I can't wait because I can go in depth and kind of make these real cool videos about I can't say all that. Can't get nobody ideas. But yeah, so it says right here, cost, politics, and structure, main reasons for lack of confidence. So first paragraph, as always, the survey probed respondents for why they do or do not have confidence in higher education. For those who lack confidence, responses generally focus on three broad themes: perceived political agendas on college campuses, 31%, the high cost of a college education, 30%, and colleges not preparing students well for the workforce. That is true. It's two of these that's very true. Now, I don't know about perceived political agendas on college campuses. That is interesting. That's an interesting one. Because I didn't care about political agendas when I went to college. But that's one thing I will say I'll look back on. Take advantage of that. Like, really get involved with your campus, but not too much where you forget about your academics. Because you can make a lot of change to the school. Like, in some states, for sure, like Georgia and Florida. But Florida, for example, always has, like, I know the University of Florida puts a SGA president on their board to have student input. And so, but getting back on topic, that's really interesting right there. But what we always talk about, the high cost of college education. I think it's interesting that college is so expensive, but we make topics about it. We talk about it. We give, speaking on behalf, gives you solutions on how you can go to college and save an abundance of money, right? We on Speaking on Behalf are giving you solutions how to save money, right? Starting in 2-year, bridge to a 4-year, articulation agreement, pathway agreement, why you should get a associate's degree. Turn your associate's degree into like $30,000 or $50,000 a year. Because you get the right associate's degree, you can go work in that career field. You met the barrier. So then you can get your bachelor's in something completely different. So if you go to a 2-year college that has range on majors, you can say, oh yeah, that career field pays pretty good. But I only want to do that. Like, it's kind of like Kanye said, he made beats as like an intern. That was like his front desk job. That was like his internship. Even though he was making money, that was like, I could just do this. It brings in money, right? But Kanye wanted to what? Kanye wanted to rap. That was what he really wanted to do, according to his documentary. That's what he really wanted to do. So if you get your associate's degree and you say, oh, I'm gonna do this because I'm good at it. I don't want to do it for the rest of my life, but I'm good at it. Cool. So when you go get your bachelor's in something completely different, which you could do that, then you can be like, this is my passion, but this is gonna take time to make money. This is gonna take time to give me a return on investment. Because if you go to school and get a bachelor's in like political science, that's like another liberal arts career field in a way. Getting your bachelor's in like political science, that's going, like, as you get older, then you're stepping into money. Think about people like, I'm just thinking of people right now. Think about Unsolved. Think about Warren. I know these are Democrats, but these are the ones I hear mostly. Just think about who's a Republican. What's his name? Think about trying to think of somebody who not a business politician. That's a Republican. Think about who is a young, help me out, y'all. Who is a young Republican? But think about a young Republican. I don't even know no young Republicans that's like young. They're Republican. I don't even know any. But think of them. If you went to school with one, think of them, and they're not going to make money out the gate as a Republican, as a politician. You know what I mean? Because politicians have a career that it's a step ladder. Like, you know, you got to win. Like, honestly, when you become mayor or a mayor of a city, a council, politicians get paid pretty good. Like, they don't make like 6 figures like the gate or something, but they get paid really decently if they get their degree right. So depending on how they step and do it, like they might work in law first. Prime example, I might want to be a paralegal, get my associates in paralegal, be a paralegal, but I got a future aspiration to be a what? Politician. So I make all my money being a paralegal. And then once I get my bachelor's, okay, I keep doing the paralegal work because the paralegal with my associate's degree, the paralegal work makes more than being a politician right now. Because as I say, as you're a politician, it's hard to step into politics, according to my politician friends. It's hard to step into politics when you're young because you're young. So it's like really as you get older, you know? So do the paralegal work as like your intern job. Then as you step into that politician role, as you get your bachelor's in political science, your bachelor's, then you can say, okay, I'm gonna still do the political work. And you, like I said, you just working your way. Like that's the way to do it. That's how you get a great return on investment. And so, but as I said before, we are talking about how you can save money in college, but nobody is listening. That's the whole reason we went into that. Nobody is paying attention. Look, this is why they surveyed the student. This is real data. This is credible data. You know, like a lot of people are going to fall. August is coming up right now, around the corner. Before I talk about this next one, August is coming up around this corner. They're going to be, I wish I knew the stat, but there are going to be so many students that fall into student loan debt that are going to take out 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000 for one semester of college because they don't know that they can start at a 2-year and get them a great return on investment. I'm not saying don't go to college because that's crazy talk. I would never say that. I don't even feel safe saying don't go to college because college is an essential workplace. College is an essential workplace. So when they tell you college is not important, that don't make sense. College is an essential work. We work through any and everything. When COVID happened, we were working. Colleges were open. If college wasn't important, it wouldn't have been open through COVID. That's why it's like I'm not scared of a recession. I'm not scared of an event happening because when a recession happens, I think I'm going to keep my job still because I'm state funded. And unless the state want to turn off the complete budget of education, we still gonna be good through a recession. You know, that's one of the benefits of going to what? College. State jobs, federal jobs. Those are the benefits of that. So people take the high income job, 6 figures, 250,000 a year, 500,000 a year. Cool, shebang. Hold up, shebang, cool. But when economic, like right now, a lot of people are getting laid off at that company, Microsoft. Prime example, because I follow the stock market. So Microsoft, which is good for Microsoft, people be like, that's crazy. Why does stock go up? Why does the stock go up when people get laid off? Because you're an expense. I don't need to take a business class to know that you are an expense. They treat us as expenses. And so where is it? Let me see. Thousands of Xbox players demand an end to layoffs. Microsoft offers up to 39 weeks of pay in latest round of layoffs. Hey, what? I want to see the number real quick. Hold on real quick. Reddit said 4,800. Let me see. Let me see something. They say, hold on. What's a credible? Let's go. Oh, 48. Yeah, Reuters is very credible in for people who follow the stock market. 4,800 jobs overhaul at Xbox, aka Microsoft, essentially, because Microsoft owns Xbox, I believe. And that's a prime example. 4,800 jobs. Now, I wonder what those 4,800 jobs were. Some people did get their education. Some people did get their bachelor's. But you got to think. You worked at a Fortune 500 company. They do this all the time. Every great company does this all the time. But look, this is why you go to college. So you can know these things. If you went to college, like I didn't go to no big school. I went to a 2-year college. I went to Valdosta State on my chest. And I went to Georgia State for my master's. Check this out. Shout out to Columbus Tech. If I know that, and I didn't go to an Ivy League, I didn't go to a top tier university, and I know that the top 100, top 500 companies lay off people all the time. It happens. And it's going to happen to the people who make a lot of money. Because look, the first thing I'm going to look at is, look, we paying this person $250,000 a year, or we paying this person $150,000 a year. What are they doing? Oh, this, that. That can be done by AI. One can say the same for my job, but my day job is what? My day job is higher education, talking to students, sitting down with an appointment for students, because students don't know how to register for classes. Students don't understand why they should take this class in sequence with this class. Why? Because people don't want to go to college. People don't want to understand college. So as long as people don't want to understand college, as long as people don't want to understand college, understand how to take their classes, understand how to work, because a lot of people don't know how to work computers. That's always been a thing, but it's really growing. It's rapidly growing. That's why they offer people to take, like, you know, couple 1,000 introduction to computers. So as long as things like this keep happening and people keep scrolling on social media, and not trying to educate themselves, and I'm not talking like technically I could be a professor at a 2-year college. I have a master's degree, but I'm not trying to lecture like I'm a professor. I'm just saying, guys, as long as you keep scrolling on social media, as long as you keep devaluing a degree, it's going to raise the value of a degree. They just got to figure out how to market it to you, if that makes sense. We got to figure out how we can get you in college. But as long as you want to keep downgrading college and saying you don't need a degree, you don't need one, like I'll be honest with you. If I didn't have a degree, maybe I'll be full-time in the military. Because what job could I do if I don't have a degree? At least for me, what job can I do if I don't have a degree? I could do like firefighter, police. I could do those jobs. Technically, I'm still in that working for the state, but those jobs don't require a degree unless you want to go to another level where they require a degree. To be a detective, you need a bachelor's. In some places, at least, I think most. To be a federal agent, you need a bachelor's. I don't know, man. I think I'm just talking to myself right now. It's real though. It's real. Like, so, but yeah. And so colleges not preparing students well for the workforce. And that goes back into, I was just talking about, like a lot of students are not being prepared well. Like I said, a lot of students need to know how to work computers. I think majority of my job, not I think, like majority of my job is being on a computer. Majority of my job is like sending emails, streamlining notes, things of that nature. So no one really understands. Like, great defense though. Hold on, y'all. Great defense. Oh, that bad court. Oh. That's a great defense right there. Shout out, hey, shout out to number 2 on the Chicago, man. Summer League. Shout out to him, man. Hey, but yeah, they're not being prepared for the workforce though. 25% said they're not. That's why they don't want to go to college. They feel like they're not prepared for the workforce. And I will say that I think yeah, the computer class, that's what I was talking about. Computer class. There's a reason why you need to take a computer class. Public speaking. Students need to take public speaking. I think that should be across the board at this point. But I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole because we've been on this segment for almost 40 minutes. But hey, confidence in United States higher education slips back slightly though. And the main thing to just reiterate in conclusion is that, remember, like, Democrats is going down. Republicans been gave up on colleges. That's why I say if you go watch any Fox, oh man, they got me an interview. I missed the interview. Why am I live streaming? They gave him an interview, man. I missed it. So if you go watch any like Fox, any Republican, and I'm not bashing nobody's political take. I'm just saying though, like if you go watch anything like Republican, for example, they're saying like, hey, the reason why college students are doing all this protesting is because they're too liberal. They went to college, they're overly educated. And so Republicans been gave up on college. The independents are like, independents, women, they can be like, they independent. Women, they can be like, college is terrible. Then they can be like, college is good. They're independent. They can fluctuate. But now we see Democrats, like you think of Obama, you think of all these Democrats, Joe Biden, whoever, right? All the Democrats, you need to go to college. You need to get your education, right? They're losing confidence in college. So, and that, remember, this is not me. This is data. This is, these are facts. So they do the research, they do the surveys. These are real people. And so, yeah, that's pretty much for that segment. Which leads into, remember, I think Gallup is independent. I'm not sure. I think they're independent, but I got it from the Chronicles of Higher Education. The reason I mention that is because we're going to a right-leaning article now. So Preston Cooper works for American Enterprise Institute, which is considered to be right-leaning. Considered. Why do I do that? Because I want us to get both perspectives. Sometimes the Republicans are really talking about things that can help us save money in college. And sometimes the Democrats are giving us misinformation about keeping us in student loan debt. That's why I'm independent when I talk about getting a higher education degree. And that's why I honestly know, guys, like you probably don't know this, but I probably said in the interview, I plan on doing my own interview, like a good rollout. But that's like I'm pretty much capping myself being open about this, because in my career field, politics play a heavy role. And when they play a heavy role, they can cap me depending on what school I go to, who respects my ideology. My pay can't increase. Like, I'm in a political career field, right? So let's keep going on that. And then, excuse me. Like and subscribe. I did not say that all live screen. Like and subscribe, like and subscribe. If you are digging what we saying, if you liking what we talking about, please like and subscribe. And so I started with that one, but really colleges are closing. I'm gonna go to this. Let me wait. All right. I'm gonna go in order. So the emerging cost of college. I said that I think that was supposed to be the first topic, but I jumped and talked about Democrats and Republicans. So apparently, not all of them are going to make it. So this has been an ongoing topic about colleges, man. I'm really egging this on because I probably have to get my, future editor, uh, or just have to like clip me up. Hopefully somebody in the future just goes on a bench watch. They just go watch me for hours and hours. And they say, he said that these colleges were going to close. And I was a victim of that college. Like, I went to that college and I became a victim. So colleges are grappling with rising costs and declining enrollments, which is not good, guys, because your college could be shut down. If you are a sophomore in college or a freshman, right? I'm gonna say sophomore or junior, because you're like in the middle. You're like in the middle of going to college if you are a sophomore or junior, right? And let's just say like the school shuts down. Not accredited no more. They shut down. And you try to transfer and you can't transfer. That simple. You have to start all the way from the beginning. I've got to emphasize that. So decline enrollments are increasingly embracing a solution more commonly seen in the private sector, mergers. And the Trump administration wants to make it easier for these schools to join forces. They want these universities, I don't want to say community colleges, they want these other schools to merge together. They said the private sector, but okay. So there are 6,000 institutions of higher education, 6,000 colleges in this country, and not all of them are going to make it out of the next decade. The next decade. Some of you might be like, boy, next decade, I'll be done with school. This don't apply to me. Okay. The next decade. Education Undersecretary Nicholas Kent told a room of financial aid advisors at a conference in June. Now, you can take this lightly or you can take this seriously, but remember, I said it on this live screen in 2026. The ones that are going to are going to be nibble. So I guess he's saying the ones that do make it through are going to be nimble. I guess then barely made it. There were a total of 521 college mergers takeovers between January 2000 and August 2025, according to an analysis of federal student aid data from the state higher education executive officer. So SHIO, that's SHIO. And so SHIO is an association group, blah, blah, blah. It said the largest share, 53%, happened at for-profit schools. If you know me, I tell you guys, do not go to a for-profit institution. And so public universities accounted for 30% of the pool, and private nonprofit 17%. So mergers in higher education nearly tripled from 11 in 2001 to 2005 to 31 in 2016 to 2020, according to 2023 analysis from McKinsey and Company. So, as we said, Kent right there. So, Kent anticipates that the surviving schools will be workforce focused, attentive to the communities in which they serve, and willing to engage with partnerships with other types of institutions. So, in fancy way of saying, I'm gonna just tell you that schools, okay, so colleges, your city needs colleges, because normally when we go to school in the city, like how I went to Valdosta State. Normally when I go to school there, I should get a job, because when I go to school, the school is supposed to prepare me to be a worker, like literally work in the community, literally give back to the community. Like that's the whole gist of it. You go to school to be a worker. That's a true saying, because we need workers. I don't know basic macroeconomics, basic econ. You need workers, because if everybody was an entrepreneur, we wouldn't have firefighters, we wouldn't have we wouldn't have military, we wouldn't have, even though you don't need to go to school to be in the military, but we wouldn't have firefighters, police officers. That's what I want to say. What's something else? Agriculture. That's another reason why we have agriculture schools, so people can learn how to take care of plants, take care of gardens and things of this nature, right? Because we need people to do that. That's why it's really essential for like your governor to take care of the people in the state, and then the people like the mayors who are high ranking in the cities. I'm not the biggest political person, but all this plays a role into that. He hit that. Ooh. I ain't gonna lie, that was cold looking at the game a little bit. So that's what Kent is mentioning in a jargon way. So as we keep going, they say he didn't elaborate, right? They're talking about mergers. So 60% of mergers involving schools with more than 1,000 students experienced overall declines in enrollment after the merger. According to the McKinsey report, students don't always finish their education at these schools either. 55%, that's it, 55% of mergers from schools with more than 1,000 students experience declines in student retention rates. And then, hold on, when you say retention, not retention, when you say schools, okay. So we talked about this. I think that's really it as I go through. Yeah, that's really it as far as that. Okay, excuse me. I really thought it was going to be more into that. At least I was able to get through it. All right, on to the next topic. So actually, many college students do pay the sticker price. So the biggest thing about this one that I love, let's be clear. The biggest thing that I love about this is that I always said that you pay the sticker price when you go to college. They say you don't pay the sticker price, but depending on your like, it all depends on your income level. In the sense, it depends on your major, income. I'm not a financial aid specialist. Please take this over to financial aid person. But for the most part, usually students end up paying the sticker price. I can't express that enough. And so Georgetown University recently attained a dubious distinction. Let me zoom in. Can I scroll? I think that's okay. It's all cut right there. So Georgetown University recently attained a dubious distinction. It became one of 16 colleges nationwide with a price tag of more than $100,000, including tuition, required fees, room, and board. Look at there. Cue the usual caveats. Ignore the sticker price, and nobody pays the sticker price. Somebody, they quoted somebody right there. Ignore the sticker price. How have college prices really changed? So the message is that students shouldn't be warned off by those healthy prices. And I say that all the time. I say that all the time. Going away from the mic because I don't want to be in your ear. We say that all the time. Nobody pays, like they say, like, oh, students shouldn't worry about the sticker prices. Once their financial aid kick in, they get a discount, or once they get the scholarships or the aid from the school, how to be, you get the aid or the student aid from the school, you'll be okay. The sticker price doesn't matter. Hey, this is a right-leaning think tank saying this now. So the message is that students shouldn't be warned off by those hefty prices because generous financial aid will bring the cost down. That is so not true. Oh, my bad, y'all. That is so not true because generous financial aid will bring the cost down. That is why I tell you all, because one of the things they don't tell you is that when you're calculating your tuition, they're throwing in the room and board. Like the meal plans and room and board is what really takes you out when you go to a university. And so if you want to have a good time and party in college and do the myth, like, you know, like you want to do, like, that is such a myth. Like, oh yeah, you got to have fun in college and run up a whole bunch of student loan debt. I'm glad we caught on to that as our generation because we ain't with that. All we gotta do is get our generation to understand the importance of going to college. That's what we're trying to do. And so there is just one problem. Only 36% of students at Georgetown receive any financial aid from the school or the government per federal data. The remaining 64% of Georgetown's undergraduates pay the published price, all 6 figures of it. The remaining 64% at Georgetown? I wonder why. They got them facts. This is right here. What is this? This is a .gov website that they pulled this from. Student financial aid. Who, it took me right to it too. Georgetown University right there. And we were on this page right here. Percent awarded aid. 36% right there. That's data. That's the real data. Right there. Wow. Only 11% of students get Pell Grants. That was back in the, you know, of course, we still accumulating the data for today, but okay. They cited it. So to be sure, considering financial aid is important nationwide, about 4 in 5 students at private colleges receive some grant aid, which defrays the sticker price. But that fraction isn't a constant across the board. Some schools provide aid to every student, but at other institutions, more than half of enrollees pay full freight. So that's why I'll be trying to tell you guys. I don't know if they speaking only, is it only private they're talking about? Berkeley, University of Chicago, NYU. I don't think Western Governors University is private. Like Southern New Hampshire. I don't think all these schools. I could be wrong though. Let me look at for example, Western Governors University. I don't think they're private, but I want to make sure. That's why I say that. They could be. Western Governors. Oops. Western Governors University. No, they're for They for profit. Oh, they are private. Okay, Western Governors is a private online school. Y'all know that school is this school right here. This school right here. I'm not talking about them. I'm just saying that's the school they're talking about. I ain't talking about them yet. And so, let me see. Are you specifically talking about private schools though? Source due to education. Okay. So then I know NYU. NYU is probably, let's go back. NYU is private too. New York. You know who go to NYU? Donald Trump's son. Yeah, NYU is private as well. And close that out. Who else? Yeah, all these schools. Let's go Liberty University. I'm gonna do one more. Liberty University. They are private. I did not know Liberty University was private. Just to show y'all. This is Liberty. This is their online version. We want the actual school. All right. So this is Liberty on. Y'all know Liberty University, right? So what's I look a little dull, but dual, but yeah. So they're talking about private right there, but a U-shaped. Let me make sure a U-shaped relationship emerges. Some of the cheapest private schools, notably WGU and Southern New Hampshire University, see half or more of their students pay the published price. Financial aid is less necessary because sticker prices are already so low. Okay. So, and I will attest to that because WGU has a partnership with my 2-year college I work at. And, I'll be honest, to give an honest take about the school, WGU, I know someone that got their master's from there personally, know them, went to high school with them. I think it's what you make it. I can't really say it's bad because people seem to be having good. I haven't really heard many people say, oh, it's terrible. But WGU do have good prices. So if they have good prices, I can't really say much more. I never worked there. I can't really say like I have, all my students tried to go there and they said that wasn't what it was. And I haven't heard that. I heard a number of good things with them. So as prices rise, some schools defray them by offering more financial aid. Savannah College of Art and Design charges over $40,000, but only 8% of students pay that much. See, that's what I be talking about. Because a lot of students, you be like, oh, how, like I used to. So a lot of people, like a lot of kids would tell me back when I was trying to do like boots on the ground type of thing, like be in person. When I try to like really get students to go start at 2 years, like you should start at 2 year, bridge to 4 year. They would say, oh, I got scholarship money. I got this, I got that. They think they know everything. That's real. Like teenagers, some parents too, they think they know, like the parents got to really step in and say, look, this guy went to school. You should probably hear him out because we're trying to be preventive instead of reactive. We're trying to be proactive instead of reactive, right? And so seeing that right there, only 8% of students like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. That helps the channel a lot, please. But only 8% of students pay that much. And so that's how a lot of students fall victim. Like you see somebody come home and they were like, yeah, I went to school. They'll tell you, I got homesick. They'll tell you all these other reasons why they came home. But in reality, it's like the money, man. Like college is really expensive. You feel me? Like I got people around me dealing with this stuff. That's another reason why we started speaking on behalf. I have a childhood friend who got lied to and had to go to the military. Like I got multiple of them, but he passed away. But I felt like that decision, that little, you feel like, dang, that person could still be here if this college told him the truth. They said he had a partial scholarship or a scholarship, one to two, right? And he didn't. So he had to come back home to a poverty area, low income area, right? figure out, okay, I got to make money. That's usually how the mindset. I'm gonna go military. And so just things like that, right? And so I don't want to see nobody go through that. Like, I don't want to see more people go through that. I can't get the whole world to see that yet, but I plan to get a good chunk of people to really be like, yo, this gonna save me a lot of money. This gonna save me $10,000 or more. And this gonna help jumpstart my life so I could do whatever I want, whenever I want, how I want. You know, like this is kind of like you starting at a 2 year to bridge it to a 4 year. It's like making you a boss in a way for yourself. Because I say it all the time in college when I used to write all them papers for school. I say it all the time. Life is your biggest project. Life is like not work, not school, not family. Your life is your biggest project. Because then you got to juggle all these things. You got to juggle a relationship. You got to juggle like family. You got to juggle school. You got to juggle work. You got to juggle, man, you got to juggle your car. Your car might need this, need that, need this. You got to juggle all this, right? So life is your biggest project. So if college puts you in a hole already, and that's already something to juggle with that, dealing with that, imagine all the other ripple effects that you got to deal with. Because if you don't have a foundation, right, a starting like school, and then okay, school is done. Now I can focus on what I need to do in life. Imagine being under the foundation. So you got to dig like above the foundation just to like go where you're trying to go in life. It's crazy, right? If you put it like put in that perspective, we got a comment. Okay, do you know or have any opinions about the OMSCS program for Georgia Tech? I was considering because tuition is low compared to in-person programs. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. I appreciate that. Shout out to I Connected. Like and subscribe. Tell some people about us. Let's see. I've never heard of it. Fun fact though. I Connected. I used to work at Georgia Tech. Funny enough. So let's see. What is it called? The OMSCS program. Oh, it popped up too. Let's see. I'm going to go through this in real time with you. Let's see. So I typed it in on Google. I'm going to pull up that part first. Let's see if that's it. Let me know in the comment section if this is it. Oh, the Online Masters of Science and Analytics. Okay, this should be. That's OMSNC. That seems like it matches. Total tuition $12K. So if I was looking at this, total tuition $12K. Hopefully they're doing that as semester based. I would hope because I no longer work at Georgia Tech. So hopefully they do this on semester based. If I'm looking at it, let's go see let's break it down. So affordability, they literally have it on here, affordability. So they're saying right here, tools you need for the future you want in computer science. Am I on that? You said computer science. This is analytics program. So let me go find it. Since I know it's online masters program, computer science. Come on, don't hide. There you go. There we go. There you go. This is fun. All right. So welcome to the Online Masters of Science and Computer Science. I think it is a pathway within the program you chose. You choose data science. Okay. And so if I see, I usually go, I'm gonna treat it like anything else when I go look at schools. I want to see the online, so it's the online, it's the College of Computing. So that's the schoolhouse is under. So I want to find, like you said, I want to find the price. And then so I might go back after you said what you said. That's helping me out a lot because grad schools, they can be challenging trying to figure out things, but it's all the same sometimes, right? So graduate. Do you see it in there? I went back to this one. Let's look at this one. I want to see if it's going to show up under here before I go back. Okay, saying analytics. Now I'm going to go jump back. So, welcome to the Online Master of Science and Computer Science, OLMSCS, but it's also the flexibility to fit around their work and family. And then it do seem like that though, because our costs. Is that a testimonial? That's Forbes. It do seem like it's being relatable to the program. Why did it close that out? But I do want to see, like, I want to see it with my own eyes, if that makes sense. Like, I want to see, like, I think that's it right there. You said computer science. Because I want to see it too. Nope, I ain't trying to go. Actually, yeah, I don't see it in here. I keep saying cybersecurity, but computer science, help me out. It's that wouldn't fall under because they have the same initials. Would cybersecurity fall under computer science? Help me out. Because I'm not in that major. But I believe sometimes some people be like, oh, cybersecurity and computer science, they're the same, but they're different. I understand they're different. And so, and we don't want to do that. I don't think so. Okay. Because we don't want to be like, oh yeah, I seen it under cybersecurity, but they're really doing it as computer science. And so I can understand why this is confusing a little bit. That's why I'm glad you asked this question though, because it challenges me on the live screen. I think that second one you pulled up is the program page. All right. So I got to pull that back up. Let's go forward. Now y'all getting to see how I work a computer a little bit. Just all right. So this is the page. Now the only thing I'm not liking about the page is that I haven't found the prices yet. And I want to find the prices. Let me see. There you go. Dang, that was tough. That was a little tough to find right there. All right. So right here, cost and payment schedule. Normally, this is what I do. And then I'm going to, what semester? That really was. What semester are you planning on going? They have fall 2026. They have spring 2027. Which one are we planning on entering? If we do apply to this school, what semester are we planning on starting? We got fall 2026 coming up. So I'm assuming you're planning for spring 2027 or fall 20. Well, now we got fall 2027. So if you could start in the spring, okay, perfect. Yeah. All right. So if we zoom in, spring 2027 tuition and fees, they hit this really good. So I'm looking for online. You think I'm about to do this? Control F. Computer science should pop up. So Master of Science in Computer Science, specialty of graduate programs, by the way. They're charging you, if you are in state, it will be $227 per credit hour. $227 per credit hour. And then usually in grad school, so now we got to go to the academic part. How many classes you think you're going to be taking per semester? That also matters, because then that helps us like map out, like maybe you're only going to be doing like 6 credit hours, because in grad school that's a lot, for example. So then let's see, degree requirements. So the remaining 12, 15 hours, they say requires 15 to 18 credit hours and a grade of a B or above. But that ain't what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this right here. Let me see. This is it. Admissions. Oh, yeah. A maximum of 6 hours may be taken at the 4,000 level and with subject other than CS and CSE. And then, so that means like they saying, perceiving, theoretically, they're saying that you can, y'all can't even see it. Theoretically, they're saying that only 6 hours can be taken with 4,000 level. But, which means, like I just said, per semester, if they doing it on a semester base. So the maximum total credit hours, there we go, for special programs that may be applied toward the NCES degree is 3. Huh? So let me see. MS. So a minimum of credit hours of 24. Project option. Oh, this is all of it. Oh, what's the total credit hours? That's perfect. It was going in section. That's the program rules. That take me to the same thing. Let me see. Masters in computer science. Right there. No, that's not the one right there. It's this one. Yeah, it took us back. We just went in a circle. You see what I'm talking about? That's what I don't like. See, that's what I don't like about this. It took us in a circle. But 227 per credit hour per credit hour rate. That's for out of state. If you are in state, like I said, normally students are going to take like I said, I'm gonna go based off my experience with grad school. I'm gonna go off my experience. I took like 6 to 9, but most of the time I was a part-time grad student. I did 6. So normally this is what we do, because I do want to 227 times 6. 1,300 ain't bad. They saying 1,300. You probably can see this. 1,300 is not bad. 1,362. If you're taking 2 classes per semester, that's not bad for this program. Like you said, it's only 12 grand. But my thing would be to ask you is, I'm not even trying to be funny, but my question is, when you do this class like online Master of Science in Computer Science, because you did say, I think it was like under, according to their chart, remember, we follow up with the school, follow up with their program person, whoever is over the program, follow up with them and ask them like, hey, with computer science, I have been hearing, like even Obama said this, like computer science is threatened by artificial intelligence. That's coming out of the former president's mouth. And so I would definitely ask the people at the school. Of course, they can be like, they should tell the truth, but they could try to just get you into the program. So the best thing to do, if I was in this situation, because I want to make sure I don't waste my money getting a master's in computer science, I would say, well, do y'all have anything about, well, right here, for example, Jonah appointed interim vice provost for AI in education. So I would ask them, could the online computer science tie into artificial intelligence? Because anything artificial intelligence is for real. Like I get trainings on it at work. We were talking about it when I did work at Georgia Tech in the past, when I was there years ago. So, but that price is not bad. According here, if you're doing 6 credit hours or even 9 credit hours, that's not bad for a graduate program. But my only curiosity is I just want to make sure that master's degree is worth it, because computer science is threatened by AI. So that's my only thing about it. And that's what I would be worried about, because I get that question all the time. And I tell students all the time, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about computer science right now. Computer science is very much threatened. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not. So I appreciate that. All connected. I appreciate that. And so definitely ask the school, though. Check with the school. Go based off how you feel the conversation is going. If it feel like they're hesitating and they're trying to like word it, like give you round answers and not straight answers like I just gave you, like I don't know. But if they can't tell you that, like, hey, I need straight answers on this, because this is real life we playing with. But the prices is great though for a grad program at Georgia Tech. That's really good. That's really good prices. Appreciate that. I need questions like that all the time. That puts my skills to the test. Be like, oh, he couldn't find it. He couldn't find it on the live screen. See, I love questions like that, because it makes it interactive. Like all that research we just did, that's literally you could say that's literally why I went to grad school, to determine like, dissecting that. That's literally why I went that and did that so I can know what I'm looking at. Because at first I knew what I was looking at, but I was not as confident. So I really appreciate that. Makes the channel more engaging. And so close that out. And then we were talking about this. We got a question. We don't get questions often. Like and subscribe. So we don't get questions that often. So we have to take advantage of that. And then, so pretty much we were just talking about real quick on the closeout for that part. Only 8% of students pay that much. And so, but only 80% of students get financial aid to pay for school. That's what I was getting at. And then I was telling you about the childhood friend, God bless his soul. But, the school lied to him too. And the school was the HBCU. But I'm not even going to say the name, respectfully, because all colleges do it. But if they push my buttons, I would say the school name one day. But they don't know me, so we good. So as far as that, and remember, this is about actually many college students do pay the sticker price. And so I believe we have one more. Do we have one more story? We had 1 hour and 17. Dang, time about fast. On the closeout for this, because pretty much they're just talking about it. After that, it's pretty much almost over. Y'all looking at it, yeah, it's pretty much it. On the end, the government should go further. The education department should continue efforts to collect and release more detailed data on the net prices. I say that all the time. As you just seen, I just broke that down with Connected. I just broke that down. Looking at the net price, as you see, I didn't factor in. Oh yeah, please include the fees. Please include the fees. Don't never forget the fees. But I didn't include room and board or meal plans, because just because somebody's in a grad program or master's program, you can still stay on campus in the grad program. And then, or if you're online, you can still stay on campus if you want to that badly. They will let you, unless they say, oh no, we have a policy, students in the online program cannot stay on, things of that nature. But we do not factor in meal plans. We do not factor in room and board, because at the end of the day, we are not getting, like, we're losing money adding a meal plan and room and board when we can live on our own. Now, granted, in that case, Georgia Tech is in the heart of Atlanta. So if you are considering staying off campus, sometimes you have to you really have to budget it out. You have to say, well, is it worth staying on campus or staying in the heart of Atlanta in a busy city? Because it's so busy in that city. And the rent is crazy in the city. But then you look into this option. Since we talking about Georgia Tech and we did that example, Georgia Tech, in most cases, has off-campus housing for students to roommate with other Georgia Tech students. Just saying. So look at the benefits of the school. Really dig into that school and say, like, and come to us, speaking on behalf, like and subscribe. Really come to us and dig in with the school. And like, is the school offering me a good off-campus deal? Is the school really trying to help me save money? And like, because some schools are not hip on that business model yet, like really providing students with that resource. So if you go to a school or people buzzing about a school that is providing that resource, if they are, that's gonna help you. So they said the government could also provide, or I think they meant to say provide or produce. Also, the government could also colleges to disclose net prices up front. In any case, nobody pays the sticker price. Is a fiction. I like that. The nobody pays the sticker price quote is a fiction. It's not true. Like, look, non-fiction, you paying that sticker price. So we can no longer afford to tell aspiring college students. Plenty of families do pay the sticker price, and the risk of doing so is something students and their parents should take seriously. Once again, plenty of families do pay the sticker price. Plenty of families do pay the sticker price. And the risk of doing so is something students and their parents should take seriously. Should take that serious. Students and parents should take that serious. Should take that serious. Should take that serious. Like and subscribe. So, I hope you enjoyed the live stream. I definitely enjoyed this live stream with you all. And since I'm finishing out with since Georgia Tech was the last school we reviewed, we're going to go on their website because schools have nice websites, and I like to just have a beauty up there. Look at that beauty. These schools' websites be like a thing of beauty. Who else is doing this out here? Who else is doing this? Who else is doing this? So I really hope you enjoyed the live stream. Like I said, it's really good to ask us questions on the live stream. And like, it tests me, it puts me on the test. It helps keep my skills sharp. Like, if you ask me a question, I'm like, and then I can give you my technically expertise. Oh wow, he blocked that. Oh, that's so bad. And I can give you my expertise of why I believe this or how you should go about it. As I say, I didn't pay any money when going to college, debt-free, degree graduate. You could do it too. YouTube, you see it, like and subscribe. If you're on LinkedIn, like and subscribe, repost it on LinkedIn, because you got to help the kids. You got to help the kids. You got to help the families. There are people in rural communities, urban communities, any community that they do not know how to navigate higher education, guys. And I promise you, I'm putting it in the simplest terms because it can get overly complicated if they want it to. That's why we get a master's degree in it. That's why I really want you to save money. And so I'm gonna give you look, go where the prices is good. Go where the price is good and ask yourself, is this really gonna be effective? Like, yeah, you can AI. Don't get me wrong. I'm not scared of AI. You can AI this information. True enough, AI can give you step by step how you should go to college, how you should save money in college. But AI can't give you like the speaking on behalf way, because AI is just gonna tell you do this, do that, do this. But AI is not considering cost of living. AI might consider cost of living, actually. They might, but AI just don't have the organic like we have. They're not thinking about, what's going on in this state right now? What's going on with the tuition prices? Tuition prices are supposed to increase by 3%. Not Georgia Tech, I just got them up there, but some states are increasing their tuition by 3%. So that 3% could make a big difference. Or AI is just AI can help you get a foundation, but if you're looking for that detail and you don't understand that higher education terminology, because the thing with AI that I learned, that's in my Twitch. the thing I learned with AI is really wrong a lot of times. And so if you don't have the foundation to interpret, like, and if you don't know how to interpret higher education, for example, right? If you don't know the higher education terminology, that's why I went to graduate school. I learned higher education terminology. If you don't know higher education terminology, you will look past important things. AI is going to feed you that, and you're going to be looking at what you know. But AI is telling you about campus climate. They're telling you about what is something important? Oh, AI is going to tell you about the room and board, and they're not going to give you like, oh, AI, how do you feel about room and board? AI is going to say, well, you should stay on campus, but AI is not factoring in, like, maybe now, because I said it, you can ask it, like, but what does the cost of living look like in that city? Or does this city have transportation? AI might say, no, they don't have transportation, but the school might have transportation. Or it might say the city has transportation, but the school don't. It can get confused if you don't clarify, ask the right questions. Because some schools have a shuttle on campus. So you can just need to, like, if you live on campus, or just need to, like, how'd that go? If you live, like, because Valdosta State didn't have a public transportation, but the college campus has a college shuttle. We have Valdosta State had a shuttle on the campus. So you can get around Valdosta State on the shuttle. But the way they had it set up, the shuttle will pass some apartments that are near the campus. That's how the campus was set up. So you need to go what? Do a campus tour and see it in person. That's what I did when I was getting ready to transfer. But I already knew I was going to the school regardless, because people that went there. So I had a good idea. I went off a recommendation. I didn't go off of full throttle. But like and subscribe. Please like us and share this with someone. We did talk about 1 hour and 30. I try to keep the live streams really short and very informational, because I understand everybody don't want to watch me for 1 hour and 27 minutes. I don't want to watch myself for 1 hour and 27 minutes. But in this career field, or this field, higher education, college, it requires us to talk. Because imagine if I gave this person who just asked me about the online masters program at Georgia Tech. Imagine if they asked me about that and it was a 2-minute clip. It's a lot of other information that they should know and have surrounds on, so they can go back and ask the person at the institution what they should do. So, yeah. So, have safe, be safe, have safe, have safe. Is that a thing? Have safe. Be safe on the rest of this week. We might live stream again on Thursday because our work schedule changed. And so we'll probably be back on Fridays, but normally Fridays, y'all ain't trying to listen to this on Friday. So it might be once a week. That might be better to digest this in intervals, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Like and subscribe. Peace, love, chicken grease. And feel free to comment if you skip through and you see something you like. Feel free to skip through.